Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good everything, wherever you are across the world. Welcome to the Jump Up Supercast Game Club episode. Doesn't matter because, you know, nobody's going to listen to these in chronological order unless you're super cool.
It's 3.
It's episode 3. God damn it, Will. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm joined by Will, the man of many interruptions.
3.
I'm also joined today by my good friend Noah.
Hello.
My even better friend Saf.
Whoa.
I played this game entirely.
Just kidding. You guys are all equal to me. I love you all.
That's
you guys
nice.
are all collectively my best
Jump
up super friends.
But I'm secretly the best, aren't I? I'm the bestest, right?
Sometimes I view us all as a family. Not unlike the beloved TV sitcom family. The Waltons.
Of course.
The Waltons.
Yes.
Or the Thompsons. Or the Simpsons.
Ah!
Because this week, and also my name's Brandon if I didn't introduce myself, but you guys knew that already. I'm basically the Justin Timberlake of the podcast and the host.
Shut up.
I didn't self-appoint myself that title.
Absolutely disgusting.
Yes,
That gif.
I'm a nasty, disgusting person. But this week we played the Simpsons video game, also known as the Simpsons Arcade game. It was released all the way back in 1991. It was actually the first Simpsons game to enter development. The actual first game to come out, I guess technically, was Bart vs. the Space Mutant. And that wasn't received very well. It only came out a month beforehand in North America. And this game hit the arcades in March of 1991 in North America, in August in Japan. So it came out a long time ago, man. This is an old game. You know, for us, this is definitely the oldest game we've played so far.
Yeah.
Definitely looks old.
You could feel
Feels
it.
old.
Might be older than some of us here.
Almost definitely older than me and Saf, I think.
Well, me and Noah are old men. So some of us have very fond memories of this game because it's older and we grew up playing it. The Simpsons Arcade game was an arcade beat-em-up developed by Konami back in their heyday when everybody used to love Konami, and they had that cool logo with the sound effect that everybody loved, and then they were just cranking out good games back then. We're not going to talk about them now because
It'll just make us sad.
yeah, we don't have time to talk about that. They suck now. But the game allows up to 4 players to control the Simpsons family members. You get to play as Bart, Homer, Marge, and Lisa. They all play a little bit different. All have different ways of attacking. This game also came out on the Commodore 64 in MS-DOS, if believe it or not.
What?
They were very
I
weird
feel like that
ports.
removes my favorite part of the game, which is like the fact that you can tell what's happening and it looks like a video game, which
Right.
DOS games don't.
No, I watched gameplay of those versions of the game, and oh boy, that's fun. If you want to
What
look
a
that
treat.
up. The game was released also on the Xbox Live Arcade and the PlayStation Network in 2012, but have since been removed from both services. So, unfortunately, there's really not a way to play a truthful port of this game anymore, unless you go to an arcade. And I'm very lucky enough to live about 15 minutes away from the biggest arcade in the world, actually. And they have The Simpsons. It's the one I grew up playing, and I still play it to this day. I actually did play it just for this. A thing here, too, is I wanted to let you guys know I spent $1.75. That's how much it cost me to beat this game.
All right, that's actually fair. That's less than I thought it would be from some of those later bosses.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've played the shit out of this game. So, you know, I got all the achievements in the Xbox version. There was a pretty tough ones where you had to beat it, like, really quickly.
Yeah.
Like, just under 20 minutes, I think, or, you know, like, so you had to beat it real quick. That also, spoiler alert, this game's not very long.
No.
About 20 to 30 minutes to beat this
20
game.
to 30 minutes, yeah. And, you know, it's a product of its time back then, so I don't know if you guys know or are familiar with Konami back in the early 90s. They were synonymous with making beat-em-up games in the arcade.
Yeah,
If you
they
ever
made a
played,
lot of them.
Yeah, they made some of the best ones.
Turtles in Time.
Turtles in Time, baby.
Turtles in Time,
Turtles
yeah,
in Time, baby.
Turtles in Time, the Ninja Turtles arcade game, the X-Men game. Have you ever played the X-Men game?
I have.
They also have a variant with like fucking 6 to 8 players on that.
Yeah, I saw that cabinet recently when I went to a local arcade, and it was very fun.
That cabinet's super cool. So
There
yeah,
was
they were
also
making...
a Castlevania one, too.
Was there?
Yeah, it was a Castlevania arcade game.
There was, yeah.
Yeah, wow. Well, so yeah, they were pumping them out back then, and this was one of their biggest, most successful ones was The Simpsons, because The Simpsons Mania was going crazy back then.
It almost caught ahead of the Mania, though, right? If we can get into it a little bit, this came, I think, it was put in production around when season 1 to season 2 was happening, right?
Yes. Yep.
So it's funny to go back because a lot of characters in this game are not how they later would become.
No.
I love the intro, right? Which does a very truncated but charming version of the intro to the show, right?
Yeah.
And they have each characters and it's some of their things that they Bart's hobby is instigating disobedience, which is kind of right but is weird.
Yeah.
Homer's intro is yellow, which is not Homer's catchphrase at all. And his hobby is bowling a big one. And
Bowling a big one. That's when they were really pushing. I mean, back in the first season, Homer was super into bowling. They kind of moved away from, but
yes. And his aliases are Homeboy / Home Dude. Lisa, meanwhile, her intro is just embrace nothingness, with her nickname being the Moaning Lisa, which I think is inappropriate to say about an 8-year-old. But whatever. And then Marge is just mom. Just mom, which is, fair.
And another thing to touch on with characters not being exactly how they are nowadays, Smithers. So the story of this game, there is a story, a very light one, but the Simpsons are scrolling through town, and they go by the jewelry store, which is being robbed by Smithers.
Yeah.
And this is super
Because
weird.
clearly he's strapped for cash.
Well, no, the only thing I could think of was, Mr. Burns asked him to, right?
Yeah. But Smithers has a cape. He's like a Batman. He's just I have my cape. And you're like, what?
Yeah. And he's got blue hair, so he's based on that, back then, man, they didn't know, Smithers, if you ever watch, I think it was, one of the first season episodes, they go into a field trip to the power plant, and Smithers is there, and he's black for some reason. Just randomly, Smithers is black, he has blue hair, and it's super, it's just random, because you're like, what the fuck? They were still, testing out these characters, they didn't have their designs, pinpointed down. So Smithers is yellow in this game, but he's got blue hair, which he has more of a gray hair now. And he's robbing a bank. He's got this sinister look on his face that he would never have. And he bumps into the Simpsons. The diamond he stole flies up in the air, lands in Maggie's mouth, because she drops her pacifier. And instead of taking the diamond, he literally just steals Maggie.
Yes. So yeah, and that is the thrust: is you must save Maggie as the rest of the Simpsons family.
Yep. You fight your way through various areas from the show, downtown Springfield, Moe's Tavern.
But then also weird ones. It's weird. Like we sort of said before. They didn't have the Simpsons is known for having just a huge cast and a huge variety of environments. They didn't have that yet. So there's weird ones where it's here's the Springfield boot. Here's this weird it's just a bunch of some of the levels are very strange, and you're like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
actually.
there's that one dream level which is, I think that level's super cool.
That's my favorite level.
Yeah, the dream level's cool. But yeah, you go through I think there's a TV studio, the great outdoors, which is just woods. And Krusty Land. So
you go through a graveyard where you fight zombies who do a Michael Jackson Thriller dance.
Yeah. And all the enemies are kind of cookie cutter, but there's lots of cameos from different Simpsons characters throughout the backgrounds of the game.
You see Skinner in the first level.
Yeah, you do. You see Skinner. In the second level, you see Otto working at one of the Krusty Land booths, and so you see a bunch. Even though it was season 1, you still get a lot of cool cameos in the game from the show. And so all the characters play basically the same. They have different movesets.
Yeah, Homer just uses his fists, but everyone else has a weapon they use. right? Bart skates around on a skateboard, Lisa has a jump rope, and Marge has her vacuum cleaner.
Yep. And so the gameplay is super simple, though.
Extremely.
But all these games were back in, all the beat 'em ups. There was literally 2 buttons. It's an arcade game. You got your joystick, an attack button, and a jump button. So you had a jump, an attack, and a jump attack. That's all you had. This game introduces kind of a cool thing if you're playing. This game is really meant to be played with 2 to 4 people. So you can do like co-op attacks. Each set of family members can do a different attack together if they stand next to each other and hit the attack button. Like Homer and Marge, I think they join arms, right?
Yeah.
No, they roll around.
I mean,
they roll around. They turn into a wheel. That's what it is.
It's not unlike in Kirby Star Allies, which is very funny.
Yeah. And then, Bart and Lisa join arms and run around and just go nuts. Bart and Homer, I know Homer picks up Bart onto his shoulders and does a piggyback ride. So there's a bunch of different...
shit out people.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different co-op attacks, that's definitely the best way to play this game, for sure.
Yeah. Saf played, and you said you beat almost the entire game with just Marge and Homer's roll.
Yep. All you had to do was roll, and then people get damaged and shit. It's like, okay, that's fine.
And they don't even, because later games, later beat 'em ups would do the thing of you can do a special move, but it drains your health a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't do that with this. It's just infinite specials. Who cares?
There's no limit. You just go nuts. And the enemies themselves are all very cookie cutter, kind of like thugs.
Yeah, characters. Guys in suits.
Guys in suits that clearly, Mr. Burns is hiring these guys to come stop you. Yeah. And you get some weird variations, right? Like zombies, you said. In the dream world, there's a lot of weird shit, like Lisa's saxophones and
Marge's head. Marge's head just rises from the ground and smacks you with her hair, which is pretty good. My favorite, the gameplay, like we said, is incredibly simple. Yeah. I did like that Homer's jumping attack. He either does a dive kick or he does a Yoshi flutter kick where he just kicks his legs really wildly, and it reminds me of Yoshi's Down A in Smash. But there's a lot of little animation touches that I actually do like. For example, if you go and you're by a door when an enemy comes out of the door, your character will get knocked up into the screen and hit and rub their face against the screen and then slide down. And there's little touches like that which are fun. That's the best part of this game is the loyalty to the license more so than the actual game part of it.
Yes. And this was coming from back in the day when a lot of game developers would take a lot of liberties with their licenses. And even so with The Simpsons, when you look at a lot of their console releases, they weren't good. And they took a lot of liberties. Like you look at, Bart's Nightmare and, Bart versus the Space Mutants, and none of these games were really that good, and they just did a lot of weird shit that didn't really fit along the lines of the game. The show.
The thing is too that they focused a lot on Bart, right? Which you can see how these companies would think that would make sense. Bart's the kids play video games. Bart's the cool kid that everyone wants to say don't have a cow man because he says it. But actually, for The Simpsons the show to work, you need all the family members, and so it is fun that they all get equal rep in this game.
In this game, yeah. For sure. And they all play, there's no real advantage of playing one over the other. So that's, pretty cool too. What else we got? We got different boss fights. They're all, they're really random in this game.
Yeah, they're really random. The biggest pull you have is a Krusty balloon.
Yeah.
But besides that, and I do love at the end though, in the same way, where you fight Smithers and then you fight Mr. Burns in a big robot suit, which is what? But I love that Smithers is welcome to my world. And you're that's what he sounds like. You're that's not at all Smithers. Yeah. That's not a thing he would say.
No, and funny thing, they did get the core cast members to do the voiceovers for The Simpsons. But the rest of them, they didn't get Hank Azaria to do anybody or Harry Shearer. But they did get the core cast, which is faithfully done. When you stand there for a few seconds, they usually say something. Like Bart says, I'm Bart Simpson. Who the hell are you? Yeah,
it's weird that he says, "Who the hell are you?" And you see the text of it. I don't know why seeing the text of it on an arcade game. I'm like, whoa, the ESRB doesn't exist yet, but they're upset.
Yeah. Hey, that's why he was, all the little kids look up to him, and all the parents were like, should kids watch The Simpsons?
I spammed the who the hell are you button. I spammed it a whole lot when I played. But it was good.
Quick note, there was also, in the Japanese version, there was some slight differences from the actual North American system. The scores were different. Score was kept tracked differently. In the American version, it was just you get a point for each enemy you beat. And that's it. In the Japanese was each enemy gave you a different number of points.
Oh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously a boss should be worth more than a, random zombie.
And also in the Japanese version, the life bar can accumulate levels if you eat the food to gain health. If it would have put you over, it gives you another health bar back, unlike the North American version.
Oh.
And there's more hidden items, there's more food, and more weapons that appear. So the Japanese version was made to be a little bit easier than the North American, which is a little bit of a flip-flop, because that doesn't usually happen.
Yeah.
Usually they baby us, and they think, we're not going to be good at video games, so...
But I guess not.
Yeah, they flip-flopped it. Also, we didn't really mention that there is stuff you can pick up throughout the levels.
Yeah.
Kind of weapons, like there's a slingshot, a hammer. You can also just pick up some random stuff and throw it in, to one-hit KO most enemies.
Yeah, but those really don't last long. They only last like 1, 2, or 3 hits, and then they break or whatever.
Well, no, the slingshot and the hammer last a while.
Yeah, they do. They last quite well. Like a lot of these enemies just hit either 1 hit or 2 hits as well. Which is nice.
They die pretty fast, which I think is fine. I mean, the combat's not complex enough to really allow for more than that, I think is the problem.
Right.
I think... So, Brandon obviously has played it a lot. He spent $1.75. I had a lot of quarters in my pocket, so I had 99 credits when I played through it. But I think I ended with like 78. So that would have been a fair chunk of change, but it does become a little bit of a quarter muncher towards the end with some of the bosses.
Yeah,
especially,
all beat 'em ups were like that back in the day. That's their whole purpose was to eat your money. Yeah.
I remember I was very annoyed with Smithers because there was because you could predict most things, but Smithers when you hit him will just sometimes throw bombs out, like they'll just fly off him as you're hitting him, and they just sort of fly randomly. There's no real pattern to it, and so that annoyed me. But
arcade games, man.
Arcade games is correct.
Yeah.
But that was the nature of the beast. They got to make the money somehow. I think at this point, what else is there to mention? The music's pretty good. I like the music. For the most part, it's pretty good. It's upbeat. It kind of stays with the nature of the show.
I like that they do have inner level reasons for why they end up where they're at, right? Like,
yes,
which is nice. Like when they're in the park. And they're going to try to save Maggie from the waterfall, and they fall down the waterfall and they hit their heads, which is why they're in Dreamland. And then you do a little challenge after the end of Dreamland to wake them up, and whoever does it best gets extra life. And you're like, oh, this is cool context that not a lot of arcade games at the time would just be like, here's level 1, here's level 2, no reason why they're connected.
No, that was super cool actually. That's a good point.
Yeah, the minigames are actually pretty fun.
Yeah, though it was I played with a friend and they were playing as Marge, I was playing as Homer. On the first one where you're pumping up the head, which reminds me of Bowser's Big Blast from Paper Mario.
Yeah.
Because the way that Homer, Bart, and Lisa all have pretty similar head shapes. Marge, because of her hair, it's so big, there was no way to track who was winning.
Yeah.
There was no way. Because I was like, my head's definitely bigger than Marge's, and then it's no, actually, the guy I was playing with beat me super easy because, but I had no way to tell the metrics, so that was funny. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was obviously 20 minutes, so not a long playthrough, but.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's, it's like we've said multiple times. It's an arcade game. It's part of its time. That's just how things were, right? You put in an arcade game, you can't expect an arcade game to last 4 or 5 hours, or even a normal. Back then, I mean, games weren't really longer than 4 or 5 hours anyway. But you can't expect an arcade game to last that long. You're there and you're got to play other games. So it is what it is. But for me, personally, this game holds, a lot to me. I grew up playing it. I loved The Simpsons, and it honestly, I think it holds up well for a beat 'em up for its time.
So you think of that? Where do you think it should go on the list?
So yeah, let's move to the list. Actually, before we move to the list, I just want to ask you guys one thing real quick.
Okay.
Give me some final thoughts about how you felt, and would you play it again or recommend it to somebody? So, I guess I'll start. I'll say yes, definitely. I recommended it to you guys, and I recommend it to anybody who's likes The Simpsons or is interested in, playing a good Simpsons game. It's honestly it might be the best Simpsons game or the second best. It's short, it's sweet, but it hits the right spot, and it's a fun time to me, even if it's as simple as can be. So I love this game. It still holds up. What about? Let's go to Noah. I haven't heard a lot from Noah.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't play a game on my own, but if we were to meet up in an arcade or we'll play it, I'd play it with my other friends and such. That'd be an enjoyable experience. If I recommend it, if you're into arcades, definitely. Yeah, it's a really good arcade title.
Okay, Zaf.
During those 20 minutes, I couldn't think anything more than what other things I could be doing than playing this game. Like taking a shower. Or playing Yakuza. Or something other than that. But then I realized that this is Brandon's game. And I should treat it with a lot of respect. And I found a lot of neat little things in this game, that you normally expect from it. There's nice little secrets, like when you punch the tree, there's a little thing, there's health items that just drop out, and then until there's a moment where it's the game will tell you, it's no, this is enough, beat it. And there would also be another part of this game where it's if you're standing completely still for the longest time and you just the arrow just attacks you. I found that.
Yeah, I loved that. Yeah. That was really good.
Yeah, there was a lot of good little moments and a lot of neat little secrets in there. I appreciated it. I would recommend people definitely play this game just for the neat little secrets and little level parts of this game that is actually fun to see. But in terms of gameplay, it's kind of shit, and I just really don't want to play it again, to be honest with you. But other than that,
sure, yeah,
fair enough. Will.
The thing that I think you can tell from the way I talked about it, the thing that most interests me is from the perspective of Simpsons, right? It's fun that you can see before Matt Groening did The Simpsons, he did a series called Life in Hell that starred these bunnies, and the bunnies just show up all over this game because stuff like that, stuff like seeing these characters before it became the big cultural thing that The Simpsons is. I enjoyed. The act of playing it was pretty negligible. It was pretty much I would say you could probably get as much enjoyment out of it by watching someone else play it, I would say, which is a harsh thing to say, but I think that the neat stuff comes through either way. So I would recommend checking, if you are a Simpsons person, if you have any affection for it, check it out. It's super neat to look back on, but in terms of as an actual game, there's a dozen other beat 'em ups that I would prefer first if I was playing with someone, But that's not a slam, of course, on the parts of the game that I do like, which I've spoke about.
Fair enough. Okay, well, now we're gonna put it on the list, the Jump Up Supercast game list, and so this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking number 14.
Number 14, so below Other M, above Paper Mario.
Yes.
Sicker Star. I should just clarify, not the original Paper Mario.
I was actually eyeing that position as well.
I was thinking of putting it above Other M.
Yeah, same here. I was actually going to put it above Other M as well.
Honestly, I was on the fence, and I honestly could be swayed. I mean, this game's really good to me.
I wouldn't put it above Metroid, but I can see it being above Paper Mario Sticker Store for sure.
Cause with Other M, it was just a constant source of disappointment with me. But with this game, I feel as though I had the least amount of apathy for this sort of game. But even then, when I tried looking into it, like there were little things about it that kind of like made me happy, and it was kind of enjoyable. So that's why I would put it above Other M.
I'm of the mindset when you look at a thing that's part of a series, right? When you look at a game, not every game's priorities are the same, right? Not every game's the things that it sets out to do are identical. I would say that probably Other M plays better than the Simpsons game, but Other M in the very core of like moving around. But I would say that what the Simpsons game, arcade game, set out to do is it set out to recreate the series for people who are fans of the series, right? To capture the tone, to capture sort of the look of it. And I think it did that, whereas Other M tried to alter the course of a very storied series and tried to tell a story. Like that was the big thing they set out to do. And I think it failed more on that end than the Simpsons did in what it prioritized.
Yeah. That is
then again, it was the Simpsons was an arcade game. It's very simplistic. It's like easy goals to reach, whereas Other M had a big, like, it had a lot of expectations to try and
I'm
make.
fine with games that don't hit their mark, but Other M didn't just miss its mark. It sort of went in the opposite direction, right?
Well, they were trying something different. That was the thing.
Well, no, but I mean, I mean in the terms of like making Samus a character that people care about, making a world that people can engage in. People are now less engaged with Samus as a character. They're now less into that series because of Other M. Whereas even if the act of shooting in it is enjoyable, whereas with the Simpsons, like I want to go watch the Simpsons now. I want to go watch early Simpsons because I played this game and I got reminded of a bunch of stuff that I enjoyed.
Yeah, I feel so that would be accurate. Like the idea is like, with Simpsons games, you actually want to see more Simpsons to be honest with you, but with Other M, like it's not bad that they tried something new. That's why people hated it, because they tried something new with Metroid, but they've Prime, and they've did well with that game. It's more like they've missed the mark on Metroid Other M. It was just
the poor execution.
Yeah, I mean, I would say both games, gameplay-wise, are both good but not great. But, you know, they're both fundamentally sound, and I honestly think the Simpsons hits what it's trying to do better, even as simplistic as it is. Whereas, you know, Metroid's trying, I mean, even though it's fine and I liked it, it's trying to cram too much into one. With the Simpsons, it is simple and just listen. This is what it is. And it's very fundamentally sound, as simple as it might be.
And just little touches like the family attacks, right? Like that captures a part of The Simpsons that I think is neat.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. No. I agree with you guys. I think it should be at number 13.
Okay. So
right above Other M.
All right. So that's right in. Simpsons Arcade game is now at number 13 on the list.
Okay. So that makes. I'll give you a little small recap of the games around it. We got number 11. We have Alundra. We played last week. Number 12, we have Crash Bandicoot. Number 13, The Simpsons Arcade. Number 14, Metroid Other M. And number 15, the newly crowned Paper Mario Sticker Star.
Crowned?
The bottom of the list is getting some action, baby.
It's there. Not Paper Mario. Don't get it mixed up.
Yeah, let's not.
Paper Mario is a very respectable game.
It's got good stuff.
Yes. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the Game Club. My name is Brandon. Thank you for joining me today. Thanks for joining Will, Saf, and Noah.
Hold on.
Pleasure as always. We're not done.
Okay.
We got a shill. We got to chill a couple.
Well, no, we got to first things first. We got to talk about the next Game Club game.
Oh yeah, of course. No, I'm getting there. Don't
All right, because I'm excited.
Don't think that I have forgotten. I'm excited too. So, Saphir, you picked the game for the next Game Club. Tell the good folks at home what you picked.
Well, I picked the one and only. Well, since E3's come along, and I know for certain that they're going to announce Mother 3, because of course.
My man.
I'm going to pick Earthbound to be the game for the Game Club next.
Oh, I'm excited for Earthbound. We have
good choice.
We have confirmed from Muzamil that he will be on the Earthbound episode. So look.
Oh my God, he's making a return.
The return of Muzamil on the Game Club.
Oh my goodness. he might we might throw him a bone one day and let him pick a game, but
Who knows?
He has to appear on 5 episodes in a row. That's a deal I made with him.
5? I thought it was like 3. Good lord.
Well, maybe it's 3. I don't remember what I said, but more than 1.
Yeah,
okay?
he's got to show some consistency.
Yeah, a little bit. And then I'll throw him a bone. But anyway, we're going to Saf, and then the week after is going to be Will, so look forward to that. And also look forward to the next episode. And while you're at it, if you can't get enough of us, and I wouldn't blame you because we are very nice and great, you can follow us on twitch.tv/JumpUpSupercast, where every single week we are playing different games. Not every day, but we do have certain lineups, Monday through Thursday. Monday, we're doing the golf club with Brandon, Noah, and Will, where we all just share our love for playing random golf games. It's a love that I don't know what it extends from, because I don't give 2 shits really about real golf. So I do like mini golf in real life, though. So I don't know what it extends from, but golf games are a blast to play for some stupid reason. So that's Mondays. Check that out. On Tuesdays, Will is playing through Pokemon Emerald Randomizer.
I am.
Join the adventure of Mandy as she runs away from the cops.
Her harem grows every week.
Every single week. Mandy the Cubone. It's a fun time. Join Will every single Tuesday for that. And join me every single Wednesday for Whack Wii Game Wednesdays, or maybe Wonderful Wii Game Wednesdays, because I'm really getting burnt out on playing dog shit games. and then every Thursday, we've added to our lineup. It is Terraria Thursday with Saf and Noah.
Yep.
They're trying to build a treehouse.
It's going horribly.
Left and right. Yes.
But we're going to learn together.
Yes. And then other random days of the week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we might be playing either together as a group. Last Friday, I played Kirby Star Allies when it came out, and that was just so fun to play.
Absolute joy of a game.
It is. And I'm gonna continue playing it on stream, so check us out. Follow us to get updates. Also follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. But
all of them just
important,
Jump Up Supercast.
All at Just Jump Up Supercast. It's super easy to find us if you want to hit up that Google. And it's also easy to find us on YouTube, where you're probably listening, or on SoundCloud, iTunes, anywhere you want to listen to a podcast. Give us a listen, give us a follow, give us a share. I think that's another super important thing.
5 stars on iTunes.
5 stars on iTunes. It helps people find us. Also, if you see us in real life, give us a hug. Don't kiss us, but give us a hug.
I feel like the odds of that are low, but okay.
They're probably very low, but still.
Okay. All
right, so everybody have a great day. Go play some video games. Go kick some ass in video game form, because video games are fun and they are the best. Till next week.
In the words of the signature Homer Simpson phrase, yellow.